JJ McCarthy. What an interesting draft prospect to evaluate. All kinds of opinions have been stated for JJ McCarthy. This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about JJ McCarthy's draft stock, as I will also be making player comparisons for JJ McCarthy. Despite winning a national championship at Michigan, there are still doubts surrounding JJ McCarthy when it comes to him having success at the NFL level. JJ McCarthy has even received criticism from his critics for being a game manager at Michigan while not being a game changer. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So here it is. Can JJ McCarthy have major success in the NFL? And honestly, I believe that is going to be dependent on which team JJ McCarthy will end up getting drafted to. But chances are, I believe JJ McCarthy will end up being a better quarterback than most people at the NFL level, because I saw he did it at Michigan. I saw JJ McCarthy was able to become a big-time winner at the collegiate level. I saw JJ McCarthy being able to elevate Michigan big time. I know some people might be saying, oh, what are you talking about? How can you say JJ McCarthy elevated Michigan when he had a great run game? He had Roman Wilson and he had a great defense around him. But I'm going to tell you guys why I believe JJ McCarthy was able to elevate Michigan. You guys remember the Alabama-Michigan matchup in the college football playoff? It was in the semifinal round where Michigan was down by 7 and they had to drive down 75 yards down the field in order to tie the game up. Because I remember JJ McCarthy had to put in work on that drive, and I remember he converted some clutch throws on that drive, including a 4th and 2 where Alabama sent an all-out blitz and where he ends up completing that pass for a big gain. And obviously Michigan, they drive down the field, they scored a touchdown, they end up winning the game in overtime. So I think JJ McCarthy is a guy that has the clutch gene in him. I also think JJ McCarthy is a smart quarterback as well. The guy understands how to go through progressions, and he has actually played in a pro-style offense. We criticize a lot of collegiate quarterbacks in today's world for not being able to understand basic football when it comes to fundamentals, but JJ McCarthy has that. JJ McCarthy might not be able to throw a football 65 yards down the field, but what JJ McCarthy can provide is being able to make basic reads where he can find the open man, and that's what playing football is all about at the quarterback position. You have to be able to find the open man. That's what playing quarterback is, and JJ McCarthy does a great job finding the open man. He can also scramble a little bit around too. It's not like JJ McCarthy is a slow quarterback whatsoever. JJ McCarthy might not look fast, but when he plays, he is definitely faster than what people give him credit for. The guy is accurate as well. He's a smart quarterback. He understands how to go through his progressions, and he is a pass-first quarterback. He's not one of those run-first quarterbacks where I have to run around in the pocket in order to make plays happen. Now, I'm not saying JJ McCarthy can't run, because he certainly can run, and he's got underrated speed because of the fact that JJ McCarthy can show some rushing wheels if needed, but that's not really JJ McCarthy's game. JJ McCarthy's game is being able to make plays on schedule, find the open man, and feed off of a solid run game. You know what he did really well at Michigan? Hand the ball off to Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. But when he did throw the football, guess what? He found the open man. Why? Because there were stacked boxes all the time, and JJ McCarthy was able to feed that off by running play action and getting his guys open. He had a really good connection with Roman Wilson. I thought Roman Wilson did an underrated job at Michigan in terms of winning his one-on-one matchups, and obviously JJ McCarthy did a great job throwing him open. And obviously when you look at JJ McCarthy, he's going to have to be a guy that will have to rely on having a good run game and having an offense that caters around to his strengths. What is JJ McCarthy's biggest strength? Being able to play off of play action, being able to throw the deep ball off of that as well, being able to take advantage of stacked boxes. And there's good news for JJ McCarthy on that front, because there's going to be a lot of teams that could definitely use a quarterback like that. Not every team needs a quarterback like a Justin Fields where he can make explosive plays at any given time, but then you also realize that Justin Fields doesn't really understand how to play basic football when it comes to making regular level progressions. This is not me hating on Justin Fields. I actually like Justin Fields a lot, but I'm just keeping it real when talking about a guy like Justin Fields, where you're going to have to cater to certain strengths for that guy. For JJ McCarthy though, catering to certain strengths for him is not going to be that hard to do, because teams are already using that kind of style of offense at the NFL level. And obviously Jim Harbaugh prepared him pretty well for the NFL level, because I thought Harbaugh's offense at Michigan was more NFL level than what people expect out of a college head coach. So I think JJ McCarthy, the learning curve for him is going to be less compared to other draft prospects. I think JJ McCarthy is a quarterback that can have a better rookie season than most people. I think JJ McCarthy is a guy that could be a solid 10 to 15 year veteran starter for an NFL franchise. I'm not saying JJ McCarthy is going to win an MVP or anything like that, but what I'm saying is that you put JJ McCarthy on the right team, this is a guy that can take you to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I said that correctly. He can take you to the Super Bowl if the circumstances around him are perfect. I think JJ McCarthy reminds me a lot of Brock Purdy. I say that because Brock Purdy is an undersized quarterback that can run around, he can make plays, but he's actually at his best when he's on schedule and finding the open man. And Brock Purdy is at his best when he relies on play action, which is exactly what JJ McCarthy is. JJ McCarthy is a guy that is best when used in play action form, and JJ McCarthy is bigger than Brock Purdy, but ultimately that's why I'm going to say that his ceiling is going to be a bigger Brock Purdy. I think JJ McCarthy is a guy that can make a Pro Bowl here and there if you put him on the right team. If he can keep winning, he's going to make Pro Bowls, and JJ McCarthy is a flat-out winner. There's a reason why Jim Harbaugh said that he was the best quarterback in this draft class. I'm not going to go that far and say that he's the best quarterback in this draft class, but if that happened, I would not be that surprised, just because of the fact that JJ McCarthy can find ways to win football games, and he's got a pretty good arm to his own credit. So you got to give JJ McCarthy a lot of credit there. Obviously, that would be an ideal conditions, worst case scenario or something like that. Maybe I could see him being Mac Jones, where he has a good rookie year, but then he just never improves his game, because it's not like JJ McCarthy is overly athletic or has a cannon for an arm. I think his arm is really good, but it's not like 65 yards down the field kind of good. He doesn't have the arm of Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, but he has just a regular, solid, good arm. JJ McCarthy can make plays in the pocket, but if JJ McCarthy never improves his game, he could end up being a turnover machine, where if you put a bad football team around him, he might struggle a bit. So obviously, I could see him being Mac Jones' worst case scenario. And as far as what the most realistic player comparison is, or the middle ground, what I think is most likely going to happen, I think he's just going to be a better version of Andy Dalton. I remember Andy Dalton on the Bengals had some solid years where he was slinging the rock to AJ Green, and where he got the Bengals to the playoffs in each of his first 5 seasons. I could see JJ McCarthy doing that, because JJ McCarthy is a natural born winner. I think JJ McCarthy can even elevate a franchise a little bit. I don't think he can carry a franchise on his back. I don't think he has a cannon for an arm in terms of being able to launch the ball 60 plus yards down the field, but I think he has a good enough arm. He's pretty accurate with the football. He's a tough quarterback. He can run around in the pocket a little bit. He can make plays on schedule. The thing that I like about JJ McCarthy is that he just does everything so well. It's not like JJ McCarthy has one excellent trait and then the other traits are just flawed. JJ McCarthy is a well-rounded football player, and you don't see that in a lot of modern day draft prospects because of the fact that they're usually underdeveloped by the time they get to the NFL level. But JJ McCarthy is a guy that is fully developed at this point, and JJ McCarthy does a great job being accurate with the football and not turning over the football. I don't think JJ McCarthy is going to be a guy that's going to turn over the football a lot at the NFL level, because he understands the part of managing the game. Some quarterbacks, they don't understand the art of managing a game, but JJ McCarthy is not one of those quarterbacks. JJ McCarthy has the skill set of being a game manager at the NFL level. There's nothing wrong with being a game manager at the NFL level, but I think JJ McCarthy can be better than that if he gets drafted to the right team. Obviously, teams are going to have to develop more skills in JJ McCarthy in order for his growth to show even more. I believe that can happen, though. I think JJ McCarthy will be a Pro Bowl quarterback at the NFL level. As far as what team I think needs to get JJ McCarthy, I think the Atlanta Falcons need to consider taking this guy at pick 8. They might even need to trade up to get JJ McCarthy. I think JJ McCarthy is that good. I think JJ McCarthy is worth spending a top 10 pick on, because JJ McCarthy is going to change a franchise's life. I think he can elevate the Atlanta Falcons into NFC South division winners. I think that the Atlanta Falcons, their roster is built pretty good already. They can run the football with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. They've got some pretty solid receivers, particularly in Drake London. I think JJ McCarthy can throw some go balls to Drake London where he can win those matchups one-on-one. And I think the Atlanta Falcons, if they draft JJ McCarthy, they can win the division in year 1. Yeah, I said it. The Atlanta Falcons can win the division if they draft JJ McCarthy with their first round draft pick. So I think the Atlanta Falcons, they need to think about taking this guy with the 8th overall pick. And then obviously you've got the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're also another team that could consider drafting JJ McCarthy if he ends up being there at pick 11. I think he is going to do a good job getting the ball to Justin Jefferson if he gets drafted there. And then of course there's also the Denver Broncos. I don't love that fit for the Denver Broncos for JJ McCarthy, but it's an interesting fit that I have to listen nonetheless, because at pick 12 it's not exactly like you can get a lot of quarterbacks by that point. So if JJ McCarthy is somehow, some way still available at pick 12, this is a guy I think the Broncos need to consider taking. But I don't know. I don't think of Sean Payton as a guy that develops rookie quarterbacks. I think of Sean Payton as developing veteran quarterbacks. That seems to be Sean Payton's MO, and I don't see that changing in this year's draft, but who knows? Maybe I'm absolutely dead wrong and he drafts a quarterback, but I just don't see that happening. But as far as JJ McCarthy, yeah, the guy can absolutely play at a high level. I think he's going to have major success in the NFL because he is already more pro ready than most draft prospects, and also he understands the art of managing a game, and he's got a good enough arm where he's accurate with the football and he's not going to turn over the football a lot. He has a high football IQ and he's not going to make a lot of stupid decisions as a rookie. I think JJ McCarthy is actually going to hit the ground running as a rookie. He'll end up being one of the better rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. The only concern that I have with JJ McCarthy is that maybe he doesn't grow out to be better than what he is in his rookie year. Maybe he has a limited ceiling because he doesn't have certain things where you can say, wow, he's a special football player, but he's absolutely going to have major success at the NFL level. This is a guy where if you put a good football team around him, he can take you to a Super Bowl. So that is why JJ McCarthy will end up having major success in the NFL, depending on your own definition of success at the NFL level. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @Dustin-Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin-Tran and Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin-Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.